The walk home was always the same, quiet road, a line of trees on one side, streetlights that flickered like they were too tired to stay awake. The kind of silence where your footsteps sounded too loud, echoing like they didn't belong. At first, MC thought nothing of it, just the usual paranoia of walking alone at night. But then something caught their eye. Between the branches of the forest, just beyond the reach of the dim light, a faint glimmer shone back at them, like a reflection. Tiny, round, and impossibly steady. MC froze. A fox? A stray dog? The thought was comforting enough, until a second pair appeared. Higher up, motionless. Then another, and another. Each pinprick of light fixed on them. Cold, sharp, unblinking. The longer MC stared, the more appeared. 10, 20, they had lost count. The woods were filling with eyes. MC's breath caught in their throat. The air felt thicker, colder. The road, behind them, suddenly felt a mile too long. They forced themselves to keep walking, eyes locked forward, pretending not to notice the silent army watching from the dark. But then, they heard it. A faint crunch. Leaves shifting. From the tree lean. The eyes didn't blink. The eyes didn't move. But something in there did. And for the first time, MC realized these weren't animals. Animals don't watch without moving. Animals don't gather in silence. Animals don't wait. Whatever they were, had been waiting just for them. The next night, MC told themselves it was their imagination. They'd been tired, the street was dark, and fear had filled in the blanks. That's what they repeated over and over, even as their steps slowed near the same patch of trees. But tonight, the woods were quiet in a way that felt intentional, like the world was holding its breath. They walked faster, trying not to look, but their eyes betrayed them. The lights were back, not scattered like before, but arranged, aligned in perfect rows. Dozens of them level with each other, staring from just beyond the first line of trees. The glow was faint, but unmistakable. MC's throat went dry. They forced themselves forward, pretending not to see. But when the sound came again, the crunch of leaves, steady, in rhythm with their steps, the lie broke apart. Something was following. They stopped. The crunch stopped. They walked again. The crunch returned. And then, in the silence between heartbeats, they heard something new. A low, whispering sound. Not words, not quite. More like the rustling of dry leaves pressed into the shape of a voice. It carried from the woods, closer than it should have been. MC's hands trembled as they pulled out their phone, flipping to the camera to catch proof, to reassure themselves. But when the lens focused, it didn't show rows of eyes. It showed faces. Dozens of pale, hollow-eyed figures standing perfectly still in the blackness of the trees, each one frozen mid-stare, their skin stretched too tight, their mouths open in silent shapes of hunger. And then every single head turned at once, their eyes catching the light like glass. MC dropped the phone. The screen cracked, the image gone. But the silence around them felt heavier, as though the figures hadn't vanished when the phone hit the ground, as though they were now closer. MC barely slept that night. Every time they closed their eyes, they saw rows of faces glowing in the tree lean, waiting, watching. By morning, exhaustion gnawed at their nerves, but they told themselves they were safe. The daylight made the world ordinary again. The cracked phone sat on the table as proof, though no image remained, just static where the figures had been. They showered, ate, tried to work, tried to forget. By evening, they convinced themselves not to walk past the woods. They'd take the long route home. A few extra blocks meant nothing if it bought peace of mind. But when they stepped through their own front door, something was wrong. The curtains, usually shut tight, were parted, just enough, and the blinds bent, like someone had pressed their face against them. MC's stomach twisted. They checked every lock, every door. Nothing had been forced. The house was empty. Trying to calm their nerves, they told themselves it was paranoia, that maybe they had left the blinds that way. They closed everything tight again, sat on the couch, and turned on the TV. That's when they felt it. That sensation, the one they'd known too well near the woods. A prickling along the spine. A certainty that someone was staring. MC slowly looked up. On the black, reflective screen of the TV, just before the picture flickered on, two small, glowing circles of light stared back at them. Eyes. Not their own reflection. Not a trick of the glass. Someone was watching from inside the screen. The television buzzed and came to life, but MC couldn't move. Their own face stared back at them on the broadcast, sitting in that very room, on that very couch. But behind their reflection self were shadows. Dozens of pale figures crowding closer, their glowing eyes the only color in the dark. And then on the screen, the reflection self turned its head slowly, unnaturally, until its face looked straight at MC. It smiled. The TV went black. But in the reflection of the darkened screen, the eyes remained, watching. MC didn't touch the TV again. They unplugged it, draped a sheet over the screen, and left it in the corner, refusing to acknowledge the staring eyes. But that didn't help. The watching didn't stop. The next night, while brushing their teeth, MC glanced up and froze. In the bathroom mirror, behind their own reflection, stood a figure. Its skin was pale, almost gray, stretched too tight across sharp cheekbones. The eyes glowed faintly, just as they had in the woods. MC spun around. Nothing. Empty room. Only silence. They turned back to the mirror. Now, the figure was closer, standing right behind them. Its lips moved, but no sound came out. The glass fogged as though it were breathing inside the mirror itself. MC stumbled out, slamming the bathroom door. Their pulse thundered, panic choking them. But when they ran to the kitchen to grab their phone, every window was open. They knew they'd locked them. Cold night air drifted in, and with it, the faintest scratching sound. From the ceiling, MC looked up. A pale hand, long claw-like fingers, was pressed flat against the plaster above them, as though someone were crawling inside the house upside down. Another hand joined it. Then another. Dozens of them. The scratching grew louder, like nails dragging in every direction at once. MC backed toward the door, trembling, when a soft tap echoed right behind them. On the glass pane of the back door, two glowing eyes peered in, unblinking, and slowly a smile spread beneath them. MC's breath hitched. They shut their eyes for just a second. When they opened them again, every window in the house was filled with faces. Eyes. Watching. The house was no longer a home. It was a cage. Every window, every mirror, every reflective surface filled with eyes. They weren't just staring anymore. They were pressing closer, their faces smeared against the glass, as if desperate to get in. MC killed the lights, thinking darkness might hide them. It didn't, because the eyes didn't need light. They glowed. From the windows, the TV screen, even the turned-off phone on the counter. Wherever MC looked, they were surrounded. Then came the tapping. Soft at first, like rain. Fingernails against glass. Dozens. Then hundreds. The tapping grew louder. Faster. Like claws scratching at the walls, the doors, the ceiling. MC bolted to the bedroom, locking the door, heart hammering. They pushed a dresser against it, though it wouldn't matter. They knew it wouldn't matter. Then the silence. Dead, suffocating silence. MC clutched a kitchen knife in shaking hands, straining to listen. No tapping, no scratching, only the sound of their own breath. Until creak. The floorboards just outside the bedroom. Someone or something was inside now. MC staggered backward, eyes locked on the door. Shadows slipped through the gap beneath it, unnatural, writhing, curling like smoke. Then the voice. Soft. Low. Right at the crack of the door. You see us now, but we've always seen you. The doorknob rattled. Once. Twice. Then it turned slowly. The dresser trembled as the door pushed inward. A pale, skeletal hand slid through the opening. Fingers too long, nails jagged, skin stretched thin over bone. MC screamed and lunged forward, stabbing the knife into the hand. But instead of blood, the blade passed through as if cutting smoke. And still, the hand pulled the door wider. One glowing eye appeared in the darkness. Then two. Then dozens. They weren't outside anymore. They were inside. The knife clattered to the floor. MC pressed themselves against the farthest wall of the bedroom, but the wall no longer felt solid. It pulsed warm, as if it had veins beneath the plaster. The eyes pushed further into the room, not just from the door, but from every direction. The wallpaper bulged and tore as dozens of lids peeled open, revealing glowing eyes inside the walls themselves. MC screams stuck in their throat. The room had become alive. Everywhere they looked, the eyes followed, blinking in unison. The sound was deafening. Blink, blink, blink. A wet, insect-like clicking each time. The ceiling cracked, and a face pushed halfway through. Not human. Too wide, too stretched, the mouth opening in a smile that split it ear to ear. Rows of blackened teeth shone in the dim glow. MC stumbled toward the window, desperate to climb out. But the glass warped, bending like liquid. On the other side, hundreds of faces pressed against it, noses flattened, mouths open in silent screams. Then the lights exploded. Bulbs shattered one by one, sparks raining. In the strobe of broken light, MC saw their own reflection in the window, except it wasn't matching them anymore. Their reflection smiled, then whispered, though MC's lips never moved. There is no outside anymore, only us. The floor collapsed beneath their feet, not into darkness, but into a sea of eyes, endless, unblinking, staring from all directions. MC fell, tumbling endlessly, their screams swallowed by the gaze. For the first time, the eyes didn't just watch. They pulled them in. MC wakes up. They're in their bed. The morning light filters through the curtains, soft and warm. The clock on the nightstand reads 7:02 a.m. For a moment, it feels like everything was a dream. They sit up, shaky, touching their arms and legs, finding no wounds, no broken floor, no sea of eyes. Just normalcy. But then, MC notices the silence. No birds outside. No cars passing. Not even the hum of the refrigerator. The world is too still. They shuffle to the window and pull back the curtain. The street is empty. Every house, every building, every sidewalk, deserted. But then, MC notices something else. Every single window of every house has someone standing in it. Dozens of silhouettes, all watching their house. And worse, each one has glowing eyes. Heart pounding, MC stumbles backward, almost tripping. They run to the mirror by the door to see their own face, desperate for grounding. The reflection stares back. But when MC blinks, the reflection doesn't. Its eyes stay open, wide, unblinking. And then the reflection whispers, with a smile MC doesn't wear. You're awake now, but they never stopped watching. Outside, a low rumble begins. All the silhouettes in the windows tilt their heads at the exact same time, eyes burning brighter. They're waiting. MC realizes the nightmare never ended. The world isn't empty. It's full of eyes. And every one of them is staring at only one thing. MC. MC backs away from the mirror, chest heaving, trying to deny the words echoing in their head. Outside, the silhouettes remain. Hundreds of glowing eyes locked on their house, waiting. MC grabs their phone, desperate for help. But when they lift it to their ear, all they hear on the line is breathing. Their own breathing. The voice on the phone whispers, exactly in their tone. You can't run from what you already are. Their hands shake. The phone slips and shatters on the floor. MC rushes outside, screaming into the empty street. What do you want from me? The figures in the windows step forward. Out of the glass. Out of the walls. Hundreds of them. Their faces are pale, featureless except for those blinding, unblinking eyes. They close in silently, circling MC, who is frozen in terror. One steps closer. Its face hovers inches away. And then MC realizes. It has their own face. But unlike them, this version never blinks. Never breathes. It smiles. And as the swarm of eyes presses in, swallowing MC whole, the final sound isn't a scream. It's the clicking of eyelids snapping open all at once. The final shot. A new person sitting in their bedroom across town. The lights flicker. They glance toward the corner of the room, where two glowing eyes are already waiting. The cycle continues.